Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Roughing the Competition. My name is Brant, and this is Trevor, and today we're going to be looking at part 3 of our 6-part Conference Outlook series.
Yeah, with today's episode, we're going to take a deep dive into the Pac-12. Now, in previous editions, we've looked at the Big 12 and the ACC conferences. Now, if you want to, go back, view those. Please, go back and view them. See who we picked as winners, see how we shook out those conferences. Now, with that said, the Pac-12 here is divided into the North and the South divisions. And to start today's episode, we're going to take a look at the north side. Brant, how you got this north side shaken out in the Pac-12?
Well, I got Stanford, Oregon, and Washington finishing out the top 3 of the North. I just think Stanford, with that balanced attack of Bryce and Costello, even though Bryce hadn't had that great of a season, he's still a threat, and that's why people have to stack that box. The way Costello can just throw that ball. With Oregon, I don't have them losing another game till after Stanford until they go to Arizona State.
Okay. Now, are you picking that one because Coach Herm Edwards is down there and you think the old ball coach is going to pull out a win here?
I think the old ball coach is going to pull out a win.
I like that.
I think they're going to be – I think Arizona State's is well coached. So. But anyways, go back to Washington at number 3. Jake Browning is a great NFL talent. He's going to – I believe he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't think they're going to be able to win the North because I have them losing at the end of the year to Washington State.
Really? So you have them beating Stanford during the season and getting that edge on them. Then you have them dropping to Washington State the end of that year.
The last week of the season.
Gotcha.
They're going to lose out on that chance to win the North.
I understand that. I can see that.
What are you thinking?
Well, I'm not too different here. I mean, the only difference I got is, first of all, I got Oregon dropping out fast. They're coming back from bye next week, and they hit Washington State, and Arizona in a row. Now, the problem with that is Washington's on the road. So Jake Browning is going to have the home field advantage. He's going to be looking to make a Heisman statement. That'll be a game to do it in. Now, he'll follow that up by Herbert and Oregon will travel back home to play Washington State. And Mike Leach's potent offense, that high-powered, deep, pass-heavy attack, well, that's going to cause some upsets during the season. First one's going to be right here at Oregon. And they're going to kind of knock Oregon completely out of that conference picture. And then Oregon, the final week, will have to go to Arizona, and that'll trip them up even further. It's been a nightmare playing games in Arizona for Oregon the past decade or so. 2008, the national title run was interrupted there. 24-14 loss. Dennis Dixon missed him for the rest of the year. That really hurt. Now, with that said, eliminating Oregon from the picture, I still got Washington State, and Stanford up here. Stanford's the next duck to fall out of line. And it's going to be right away. They're going to have the same problem Oregon does. They're going to come back from the bye week, play Arizona State, Washington State, and I believe it is Washington in a row. And those 3 are just going to be killers for them. Because Arizona State, I think, just the coaching experience, I think this is that upset, as we talked about for you on the Oregon front. I think this is where Herm Edwards gets it done. Then they're going to play Washington State, that high-powered attack. They won't adjust to it in time. I think Mike Leach gets a win. And then Jake Browning is just going to put another Heisman possible stamp here by beating Stanford there as well. Now, as we get further up, we got Washington State and Washington left. Now, this one ends simply. I have Jake Browning winning the Apple Cup at the end of the year. I think even though they take 2 losses earlier on, I think he's still going to just do just enough to win that conference. Now, with that said, that's kind of how I have the North shaking out. So let's take a look at the South here. Who do you got in the South, Brad?
I got Arizona State, Colorado, and USC. But as you can see, all 3 of them are 6 and 3.
Okay, so who do you got shaking out to win there?
Okay. Of course, I got Arizona State here.
Okay.
Old ball coach.
Yeah.
I do believe he's going to be able to use that coaching experience and beat teams like USC and Colorado in the regular season.
And ultimately, that tiebreaker will give him the edge to have his team win the title game.
Benjamin, the running back, he's averaging almost 120 yards per game on the ground. Whew. And I just think with Herm Edwards and having a run game and knowing how to control tempo, I think this works big. Also, for Colorado, I think they're going to be number 2. Their quarterback, Steven Mentes, 75.8% completion rating.
That's pretty good. That's conservative attacks right there.
It's conservative, but with that Colorado defense, that's where I have Colorado beating USC. That's why I have Colorado number 2.
Okay.
USC is going to be good. They have 3 running backs with over 150 yards on the season already.
That's pretty good.
So that's how my South is going to
Okay.
go. How about yours?
All right, my South, It shakes out similar. I mean, we both got Colorado and Arizona State towards top. I got Colorado winning this. Now, Colorado has a pretty balanced attack that we've seen out of the start. And honestly, it's ball control, I think, here. And Colorado has done it well so far, and I think they'll continue doing it well. Now, right away, I have them picking up a big win at Washington. I think that'll be the confidence booster to kind of carry them through the season. And with that said, I mean, I don't really have them losing out from there. I do have Arizona upsetting them at some point, but that's just because I feel like they take another loss in there to get that second loss. Outside of that, though, outside of the Colorado thing, I do have Arizona kind of climbing back to 500 here, which is a win for Khalil Tate in that group. There's just so much talent there. They're starting to kind of get back to 500 territory. I think they make it there, but on a little interesting side note, you see UCLA down there with 2 wins? There's a reason why they get 2 wins. Now, as an Oregon fan, you can see from my sign there, I don't like Chip Kelly. I'm glad that he didn't come back, but he knows how to coach, and they do have a lot of talent there. With that said, I think they get wins over USC and Arizona State, and that ultimately takes those 2 teams out of the picture and allows Colorado to run away with this. Now, with kind of my South breaking down that way, let's go and turn our attention over these conference title games and see how they shake out.
Like old Herm Edwards used to say, you play to win the game. But they're not going to win this game against Stanford.
Ooh.
I just think Stanford's is too tough.
Yeah.
Good defense, Costello and Love on offense. I think Stanford just way too much. I think Herm's going to get himself a Pac-12 title eventually, but not this year.
Gotcha. I mean, I can see that. I can see Herm definitely building. He's going to have a few years to get in his own recruits, maybe put together some conference title teams here. We'll see what happens. Now, with that said, here's my title game. My title game is Washington versus Colorado, and I mentioned it earlier. Jake Browning, I don't think will win the Heisman, but he's going to get plenty of opportunities here to make some stamps on his Heisman candidacy. Oregon and Stanford are going to be the 2 big ones during the season, but if he's still floating there in that competition, we see it every year, conference title games can be a decider for the Heisman race. And if not, it's just another showcase for him. The Dominican Sue missed 1 year ago by just that big performance for Nebraska against Texas. At least got him talked about more, probably bumped the stock a little bit. Jake Browning's going to get that opportunity here with Colorado. I think he's going to put up some big numbers. And as you said, the old coach says for Arizona State, you play to win the game. And this kid's going to come ready to play, and he's going to drop some big yardage and big touchdowns all over that Colorado defense.
Well, that Colorado defense is good, though.
It is good, but it won't be good enough during that game.
All right. Well, follow us on Twitter at Roughing the Comp and Facebook Roughing the Competition. Please. I'm going to keep annoying you until you finally go do it, because I do get notifications.
Oh, yeah. He tells me about it all the time.
Screenshots all the time. So go ahead and just go do it, because I'm going to keep annoying you.
Yeah, so please hit that up. And we hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. As we said, this is the 3rd outlook so far. And this one in the ACC, we're probably the 2 weakest just because of the conference strength. Neither one of us are too high on these. Now, you may remember we talked about West Virginia about a week ago now, and we had them finishing, I had them 11-1 or 11-2, I think. You had them undefeated. Now, with that said, let's see how their contention for that playoff race continues as we take looks at the 2 big conferences, the Big Ten and the SEC in these next couple editions.
We also got to make sure we take a look at Notre Dame too later.
Yeah, Notre Dame will be part of that non-Power 5 conference segment. They could be interesting, and don't sleep on UCF either. Remember, they were left out in the cold last year, but
you mean the last year's national champions, right?
Last year's national champions. And also, let's not forget on that, they still have yet to lose, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't lost yet. They ain't went away. So we'll see how those play on these final 3 parts. And once again, please subscribe. Please like. I hope you're enjoying the videos. He hopes you're enjoying the videos. Do what you got to do to help us out. And have a good night.
Thank you, guys.